Good morning, everybody. It is 2 something in the morning. Okay, I'm going to read What in the World is Going On? 10 Prophetic Clues You Cannot Afford to Ignore. Dr. David Jeremiah. Okay. Let's see. Acknowledgements, an introduction, knowing the signs. Okay. So before that it says, blessing and honor and glory and power be to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. Revelation 5:13b. Okay. And then acknowledgements. Last fall, when I began to teach the truths of this book to the church I pastor in Southern California, I was taken aback by the number of people who came to me each week and said, "You are going to put this information in a book, aren't you?" Here's my answer. Thanks for your encouragement. Barbara Boucher, Boucher, is my administrative assistant at Shadow Mountain Community Church. Her servant-hearted willingness to serve where she is needed reflects the spirit of this church family. I owe a great deal to the team of people who surround me at Turning Point Ministries. Diane Sutherland understands the pressures that descend upon our office when a book is in the making. During those days especially, she guards my time and organizes my life. I dare not think of the chaos of my existence without her dedicated ministry. Since this book seeks to shine the light of the scriptures on 21st century world events, the burden of research has been huge. Kathy Lord excels at this task. She never rests until she has found the exact quote, statistic, or source we are looking for. Kathy, your commitment to detail amazes me. Thank you for your hard work. Paul Joyner is the Creative Services Director at Turning Point. He is an integral part of all that we do around the world and through radio, television, and print media. Paul, your creativity is infectious, and your fingerprints are all over this project. Rob Morgan and William Crudenier read each chapter and read each chapter and added their suggestions. Rob and William, thank you for your thoughtful contributions. Thanks also to my friend Chuck Emmert for his valuable input. Thomas Nelson editor Joey Paul has been encouraging me to write another book on prophecy for several years. When I sent him the preliminary notes for this book, he called back immediately and said, "David, this is it. Joey, your friendship is a blessing in my life." This was my first opportunity to work with writer and editor Tom Williams. He has been a gracious addition to our publication team. Tom, I hope we get to work together again soon. On the first pages of all my books, you will see the name of Yates and Yates, the literary agency founded by Seeley Yates. Thank you, Seeley, for believing in this book and for coordinating the efforts between the Turning Point team and the Tom and Nelson team. I want to express my gratitude to my son, David, whose leadership at Turning Point makes it possible for me to invest my time in studying and writing. Finally, I give thanks to Almighty God for my wife, Donna. When I first started talking about what in the world is going on, I told her that my plans were to teach this material in our Sunday night service. She looked at me and said, "David, that needs to be taught in the morning services so everyone can hear it." I always do what she tells me to do. Most of all, I want to express my hope that God will be glorified as we tell the story of His plans for our future. Okay, introduction. Knowing the signs. What in the world is going on? Never before in my lifetime have I read such jarring headlines, distressing news analysis, or dire predictions for America and the world. Things are getting so chaotic that many pundits are using the term perfect storm to explain the confluence of wide-ranging food shortages, record high fuel prices, and natural disasters. In a recent 24-hour period, major news wires carried the following disturbing reports. A cyclone in Myanmar caused upwards of 84,000 deaths, along with the loss of primary rice fields in a time of severe global rice shortages. A powerful volcano that had been considered dormant for 9,000 years erupted in Chile. A virulent new virus infected tens of thousands of China's children, causing mounting fears of widespread epidemic. Longtime antagonists China and Japan announced a pledge of peace, friendship, and cooperation as neighbors, including a joint venture in oil refining. In resurgent Russia, newly installed President Dmitry Medvedev Medvedev, promptly named Vladimir Putin as prime minister, calling it the most important position in the executive power. Within that same time frame, housing defaults and foreclosures continue to fuel America's economic tailspin. As if that weren't enough bad news, oil soared to its highest closing price on the New York Mercantile Exchange since oil trading began 25 years ago, and the dollar continued to sputter against most foreign currencies. When stories like these pile one on top of another, we can't help but wonder what in the world is going on. As we look out at the world of the early 21st century, food shortages are producing widespread hunger in places that have previously known plenty. Outright starvation is replacing hunger in regions that have known want. Among the poorest, it has become a struggle just to survive. In Thailand, the world's leading rice exporter, prices doubled in the first quarter of this year. Food prices have fueled riots in Haiti, Cameroon, Egypt, Mexico, Philippines, Indonesia, Ivory Coast, and several other African nations. Desperation is so high in Thailand, Philippines, and Pakistan that armed personnel have been called in to protect food harvesters, supervise grain sales, and guard warehouses. A UN observer warned a hungry man is an angry man, and as food gets more and more difficult to access, we can expect to see more incidents of civil unrest. Okay, I'm gonna stop there so this video isn't that long. And then I'll continue after that. in the next video. Thank you for watching.